Ready to explode, on the verge of making it all happen. There's a bouncing ball to second. Taylor's got it. Los Angeles is alive, and they're headed to the World Series. Dodgers, Yankees in the Fall Classic.
And
Robbie, you are
welcome back to another episode. This is the Sports Game. There's a lot of fucking producing here, you fucking bitch. All right?
I noticed it right away. I unmuted myself.
Well, yeah, because every time I'm trying to play video, I was listening back to our thing. You got your fucking microphone.
No, first of all, you're going to put this blame on me there.
Well,
right.
For the last instance to happen, correct, I'm putting the blame on you. Your co-host, Robbie, my co-host of a donkey, Zach Roden, is here. And ladies and gentlemen, in case you were here for the intro prior to us starting, you heard The Undertaker. Alex Gardner, fellow Dodgers fan, you son of a bitch.
Oh, it's going to be a doozy here.
Oh, it's already a doozy at work. We got a bet going on, and then we double the bet. If one of our teams gets swept, it's double the price.
Well, I cannot see a sweep happening, but I guess stranger things have happened.
But the reason why we were playing that song, Zachary, I think we should just give you time to mentally prepare. Deshaun Watson, Achilles injury done for the year. But before we get into everything into the NFL, we're just going to go over this very quick. Zachary,
and I will get into that, Mr. Watson, later. But
as we did our show on Sunday, you and I both had the Dodgers finishing off that day. Sunday night, Dodgers win by a final score of 10-5. They advance to the World Series, as you saw in that thing there on Fox, for the 22nd time, the most in National League history. Yankees, Dodgers, the first World Series between the two since 1981. Zachary, they have faced off 11 times. Which team do you think has won the most? And I think it's pretty obvious. I'm not trying to talk shit. There's numbers to show. And how many wins do you think they had?
I'm going to say the Yankees won. You said they played 11 times?
Yes.
I'll say it is 7-4.
It is 8-3 Yankees. And it could be 9-3 or it could be 8-4, as it is going to happen for the 12th time in the World Series. Yankees, Dodgers. Alex, you're right. You did. Yes, you did, sir.
Well, I mean, Robbie, I think this was the series that everyone wanted. You get Yankees, Dodgers, two historic franchises. You get Shohei versus Aaron Judge, the two faces of the league right now. I mean, it's kind of a picture. I mean, the MLB right now is just
jerking off.
They are cranking their cocks like absolute no. They're creating the most amount of belly button soup that a human being can possibly make right now.
Yeah, you know what? Alex showed me this matchup. You didn't show me that stat. You showed me this stat. The last 60 matchups, it's a 500 record. It's 30 for 30.
You know what, Robbie? Take all those matchups and they mean absolutely zilch. Because we're talking about season. Sorry there, car lover. We're talking about season baseball, and we're talking about World Series baseball. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So this is I mean, I think we're gearing up for one of just an all-time MLB World Series here. I mean, and shout out to the Mets too. I mean, they had I was calling them the team of destiny all playoffs. They fell a couple wins short. It would have been nice for the Subway Series, but I think all in all, this is by far the series that everyone would have rather seen. Obviously,
Yes.
the storyline was there with the Mets series, but these are the two best teams in baseball. These are the two teams that everyone wants to see. You got, on one side, you got fucking Judge, Stanton, Soto going up against Freeman, Betts, and Shohei Ohtani. I mean, it's all-stars on all-stars on all-stars between these two rosters, and it should be some fireworks.
Yeah, like you said, credit to the Mets. I mean, the Mets at one point, through 5 games of the season, they were saying it's a catastrophic disaster and all hope was lost. And they find a way to revamp themselves, make a tremendous run into the postseason. Gave the Dodgers a little bit of a tough time. Nothing substantial, not as hard as the Padres did, but enough to respect the series to go to 6. And unfortunately, they just fell short. They're short of the star power. All they got is Lindor. We don't know what's going to happen with Pete Alonso. Mark Vientos is turning himself into a star. Brandon Nimmo's been worth that contract. Now they have to address the pitching. As you remember, Zachary, the main players that they're paying a shit ton of money to aren't even on the team. That'd be Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer. I believe this or next year is the last year of those contracts. By the way, Max Scherzer is not only getting paid by the Mets, he's also getting paid by the Nationals too. That guy's fucking
that guy, he's the swindler right now, getting near the end of his career.
Yeah. So Zach, Dodgers, Yankees. You alluded to those stars. Absolutely. Tommy Edman should not be ignored for the Dodgers. He had, I think, 12 RBIs in the NLCS. Yeah. Gleyber Torres played a big part for the Yankees. I mean, this is going to be one of two things. It's either going to be a goddamn shootout or miraculously all hitters are going to suck and it's going to be a pitching war because that's just like how baseball works. It's very weird.
I just feel like if there was a percentage on one of those two things happening, it's got to be like a 95 to 5% in favor of a slugfest here, Rob. There's too much talent on both these rosters to have pitching battles.
I'm going to allow this comment because Twitch is too stupid to understand what Alex is saying here is Kike. Zachary, for the love of God, do not repeat the fucking word, okay? It's not a bad word. He means Kike Hernandez. Kike Hernandez also had a fantastic series.
Oh, I thought he was doing a Jewish guy slur there for a second. I said that. You can't do that on our show.
Yeah, like you've never done something fucking retarded in this show.
Do you want me to say it, man? I'll fucking say
it. No. It's going to be a great series. And I think in the end, what's going to dictate the loser is which manager was worse than the other, because I think Dave Roberts is a terrible manager with a stacked roster, and I think Aaron Boone is a terrible manager with a stacked roster.
Yeah, it is going to be it's going to be a battle. Goes down first game on Friday, so I think we're going to do a more in-depth breakdown Thursday's episode. So this will just be kind of a quickie today, but
I am disappointed in one thing, Zach. One thing. Okay, I know. Oh, did he sent me the thing? Yeah, he sent me the thing, the Yankees-Dodgers matchup. Yeah. I know it's the New York market. I understand. What I put there on Facebook is true, Zach. The cheapest ticket now at Yankee Stadium, I believe, is $1,500. I'm sorry, dude, but you take away from the real fans. You take away from people like me who don't make fucking six figures to afford ticket prices to sit all the way at the top for over $1,600. It's a shame. And they're charging fans outside to be around the stadium. You are charged to sit outside.
That's brutal. That's brutal. But I mean, honestly, Robbie, like I remember my buddies when the Raptors were in the NBA finals, and like we're talking about basketball in Canada. Like, obviously, I know it's Toronto, but they were $1,600 or $1,700 tickets they paid, and they were literally they had their back against the wall. They were that far up in the 300 section. Like that's just that's just what they fucking cost, especially for cities like New York and Toronto and fucking LA. Like you're gonna spend an absolute arm and a leg for this bullshit, and it's not fair. You are right. It does take away, but the shitty part is they're gonna keep doing it because they find suckers that spend the money on these damn things. They find guys that put themselves in absolute financial crippling financial situations to go
Right.
support their team for a game to watch them try to win a championship. I also will say this, too. The game that my buddies did go and watch and spent that amount of money, the Raptors did have a chance to win the championship that game. So, obviously, that could be a reason why they were a little bit more as money as well, too.
Yeah, it just sucks, man. It's not affordable. It's kind of bullshit. It's very, very bullshit, man. So, I talked about how I saved up a lot of money, Zach, but I'm not spending $1,600 to sit all the way at the top. I'm not
Not a true fan.
Okay, that's fine. I'm also fucking realistic. I live in fucking Joe Biden's economy, okay? It's very hard.
Wait, but you don't want Kamala Harris to be your
Anyways, I'm not going to get into all that. But the stage is set. Yankees, Dodgers. We're going to preview more of it on Thursday. Zach, there is something that is kicking off effectively tonight, as I see Zigo talking a little bit of NBA here in the comments. That's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
Also, make note that intro song, obviously, NBA and TNT. It is the final year of Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Shaquille O'Neal due to the fact that the NBA is so stubborn that they elect to go with Amazon after TNT decided to match their offer. Fuck you, Adam Silver. You fucking
you pussy farts.
Oh, and also we have breaking news just in case people haven't seen news. I'm sure everybody's seen it. Andy Dalton is okay, but his family was involved in an accident Tuesday afternoon in Charlotte. He is seeing team personnel, medical personnel, but he is going to be okay. No, it is not a fucking Ben Simmons jersey. It absolutely
wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Zachary, would like take a guess what jersey it is.
Man, I know you've actually told me who this. I know that I've guessed who's on this before, and I've gotten it wrong, and I can't fucking remember because it's not someone that's like a well-known guy, is it?
I'd say he's well known. Yes, he's made an all-star. He's currently playing right now.
It's not Dinwiddie.
No, I don't have a Dinwiddie jersey. No, I don't have a KD, Kyrie, Harden jersey neither.
I'm seeing Bridges in the comment section, but I don't think you have a Bridges jersey
Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
Fuck that piece of shit.
I don't know who it is. I can't remember who it is. That doesn't help me out either. Bend down. I was gonna say you still didn't show the fucking last name.
Oh, it didn't. It didn't.
No, I was trying to say squat, but now I see it.
Jared Allen. We had options. We had Jared Allen. We had Darren Williams. We had D'Angelo Russell. And we had Paul Pierce. And I will never wear that Paul Pierce jersey. That was a gift from the brother, so it's hanging. Fuck Paul Pierce. Zachary. NBA kicks off tonight, and what a matchup to start off. We got the Knicks and the Celtics. I mean, these could be the two best teams in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. I mean, we could be seeing I mean, obviously, this is a very much a possible foreshadowing, maybe, of a possible Eastern Conference final matchup this year, Robbie.
It is very possible. It is wide open in the Eastern Conference as far as I'm concerned. I mean, last year, a lot of injuries in the Eastern Conference, but give the Celtics the credit they deserve.
I still think it's the Celtics conference to lose, but I do believe that there's a lot more. It's going to be a lot harder for them to steamroll the way that they did last year, because last year it just got out of hand for them.
Now, I think a lot of people forget that Porzingis did get surgery after the NBA Finals. He is going to be out until the next calendar year. He's going to return at some point in 2025, so there will be no Kristaps until 2025. Other news breaking out in the Eastern Conference, Joel Embiid is not going to be playing any games this week.
Pussy. What a fucking pussy Joel Embiid is.
They were. Lonzo Ball returns, and I'm curious, the Chicago, I'll talk a little bit Bulls here, Alex. Chicago's interesting. I think it was smart to move on from DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine definitely didn't mesh well together. Both need the ball in their hands. DeMar DeRozan is a mid-range shooter. 3-point shot is not something he's very special with, but from the mid-range, he is an absolute sniper. Zachary, as a Toronto Raptors fan, I'm sure you 100% agree with that.
Midpoint, there might not be. I mean, he's up there for the best in the best when it comes to midpoint shoot or mid-range shooting.
Correct. So with Lonzo Ball coming back, Josh Giddey coming in, hopefully no children around him in the area of Chicago.
Yeah, he likes to touch.
Billy Donovan, who's probably going to end up getting fired. I'm surprised he hasn't been fired yet. They could contend for a play-in spot. They probably will contend for a play-in spot, but I don't know. This is a matter of, is it a rebuild or is it we're going to try to build what we got? I don't know.
That's the problem, I think, with what Chicago's finding themselves right now is they're not shitty enough to be like a bottom of the barrel lottery pick team, but they're not good enough to fucking do any sort of damage when it comes to any. Even if they do make the play-in or the playoffs, I mean, let's be realistic here. They're not going to win shit this year. I'm sorry to tell you, Robbie's pal in the comment section. I'm just going to say it out loud. And, I mean, I feel like at this point, maybe it is time just to start selling some assets and go
Zach
for a rebuild.
Is the number one player to sell off, and no one had any interest in Zach Levine.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising.
It's fucking nuts. But we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe a new attitude. Maybe he shows better chemistry with teammates because their best player arguably last year was Kobe White.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a little breakout season, became a bit of a sniper himself last year.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say they do have some positive spots. I just don't think they have near enough to compete in the East. Look at the fucking East this year. I mean, there is so many good teams in the East this year. Like literally, there's just off the top of my head, there's fucking maybe not Philly, but there's 3 or 4 teams that could win the East, no problem. Maybe not no problem, but wouldn't be surprised to see the Celtics win. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Bucks win. Wouldn't be surprised to see why am I just blanking on? We were just talking about them a second ago. Knicks. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Knicks win. Maybe the Cavs under Kenny Atkinson start lighting it up and they get you know what I mean? There's so many good teams in this East where it is so tough to call. Tough to call.
Lafreniere is healthy. I'm sitting down Keller.
Yeah.
Dunn is on the fucking long-term IR.
Long-term IR. And can we? I know we're gonna get off topic here a little bit, Robbie, but I would like to just bring that up about hockey and whoever is the asshole making the schedule here, dude. Can you go fuck yourself? We have one game on Monday night, Robbie. Then 45 games tonight. Then one game tomorrow night. And then another 45 on Thursday. Like, if you're a fantasy hockey league manager, then I feel bad for you because I have to sit, I think, 4 or 5 guys on my bench tonight. And I know 1 or 2 of them is going to go off tonight.
I consistently have to sit fucking Mika Zibanejad because I have Austin Matthews and Sidney Crosby. So I guess Crosby would probably be the only. I'm not going to sit Crosby because we know what he's capable of doing.
Yeah, can I give you some advice with Mika Zibanejad? I would look to trade him off for someone that plays, because if you have those 2 guys that play just center, you're probably never going to have him in. So I would look to trade him off for someone that plays like a center right wing or a center left wing.
I snagged him in the very late rounds because everybody's already solidified at center. I got to wait for someone to get hurt at the center position, and either he fills in or someone asked to trade for him. I don't know. We're going to see. But let's get back to the NBA really quick, Zach.
Yes.
So we have our awards to go through, but I wanted to make a note of teams off. I have 2 as good off seasons and 1 is a bad off season. But let's think of some of the teams with the good off season. And the first one that absolutely stands out, no questions asked, are the New York Knicks. Now, although they lost Isaiah Hartenstein, they managed to keep OG Anunoby. They brought in Mikal Bridges. They brought in Karl-Anthony Towns. Unfortunately, they lose Julius Randle, but it didn't look like it was meshing too well with Randle and Brunson. And you could see that when Randle got hurt, that's when the Knicks got even better when the ball was.
Well, yeah, and that's another problem with Randle, too, is he has a very tough time staying healthy, I find. So I think the Knicks are definitely a team, that got better. I mean, we've discussed our thoughts on the Cat trade. You know, we were not exactly, I think we're kind of with your buddy here in the comments. We don't think that was exactly the smartest move for him, but I mean, maybe it's a big change of culture. I mean, Cat is still an unbelievable double machine when it comes to playing basketball. He's better than Julius Randle. Is he better than Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo as a package? We're going to find out. But, I mean, as it stands, this Knicks team got better. I'm trying to think of other teams that got a lot better.
Like the Knicks, I also want to mention that, Mitchell Robinson is out. Probably for the calendar year as well. And they're in need of a backup center. So it's going to be Jericho Sims. It's going to be Precious Achua. I mean, I don't know what this and off the bench. So essentially when you move on from Dante DiVincenzo, your best player coming off your bench is probably Deuce McBride. And if it's not Deuce McBride, then it's Campaign. So these young guys are really going to have to fucking step up hard because there's no reason why this team shouldn't be at least a 2 seed, in my opinion. But it all depends on 2 players, and it's who they brought in, Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges. Why? Because Karl-Anthony Towns' defense is nowhere as good, in my opinion, as Julius Randle's. Mikal Bridges He has a very unique jump shot. And through the preseason, he's looked like shit. He has now where he pauses at the middle of his form and then proceeds, and it's not looking good. So Mikal Bridges, who at one point traded to Brooklyn, averaged 27 points after being traded to Brooklyn, fell off a little bit last year. The Nets still managed to snag 5 first-round picks for him. So Knicks fans, should they be worried? Not yet. It's only preseason. We'll see if he can figure it out. But one thing you do get out of Bridges is good defense. So you have that to be at least excited by. Yeah. Pressure to Chua keeping him, or not pressure to, excuse me. OG Anunoby keeping him was drastic. He is missing reliable. He does play all 82 games.
Can we, there is one team, Rob. I'm just looking at some lists here of what teams brought in and dished out this offseason. And one team that I'm seeing that made quite a lot of roster moves in this offseason was our beloved, the team that we can't stand, the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, and now we're hearing news. There's no Paul George for the opener. There's no Joel Embiid for the opener. Joel Embiid's not going to be playing back-to-backs.
He's not going to be playing this entire week, Joel Embiid.
Yeah. The guys they lost this offseason is Nicholas Batum, Tobias Harris, Buddy Hield, DeAnthony Melton, Paul Reed, Robert Covington, and Mo Bamba. So not like massive names there, but definitely a lot of depth pieces there. Bringing in Paul George, Andre Drummond, Eric Gordon, Caleb Martin, and Jared McCain. So, I mean, we're looking at a pretty new 76ers team here. I hope to God this team fails so miserably.
Me too.
And I brought it up too because they have like a TSN thing for the Raptors right now.
There's one player on that team that I actually like. I actually don't like have any remorse towards him. There's one player in that team I like.
And who is that?
It's not Paul George. I lost a lot of respect for Paul George after the move. It's Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey deserved that extension that he got in the offseason. Tyrese Maxey doesn't fucking whine and complain. He just goes out there and he balls.
Yeah, I like Tyrese Maxey too. I mean, and he's turned himself into one of the top guards in the league.
Yes.
And realistically, he's still progressing too. So what kind of version are we going to see from this year? The guy might be even more of an animal than he was last year.
I mean, when they were doing their polls for the best number 2s and the best number 3s on every team, they have Paul George listed as the third option. It's a pretty goddamn good third option.
Yeah, if he plays.
Yeah. So that's a team. But the one that I was thinking of, Zach, I had 2 as the best in the offseason. The Knicks was 1. I had the Knicks as one of them. And the other team I had, the Minnesota Timberwolves, because of the Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo trade. I think I think that the Randle, Karl-Anthony Towns kind of evens out in favor more so than Knicks. But once you add in Dante DiVincenzo, I just think it elevates the trade even more in the Timberwolves' favor.
This is the Knicks just going all in this year for this. I mean, they basically kissed their entire future away, so they better hope to the fucking God that they end up winning a title within these next 5-6 years or whatever it is, because you have no draft capital. Thank God Jalen Brunson took that deal too. I mean, he's making all this possible for them as well, being able to even afford all this.
Yep. Agreed.
Now, you said you had a team that had a bad one in mind there?
Zachary, do you have one in mind off the top of your head? Because I know who I have right off the rip.
A bad one. To be honest with you, I can't even. I really haven't been paying too much attention, if I'm going to be honest.
I don't blame you. Our teams suck. Zachary, arguably.
Oh, can I guess?
Yes, you can.
The Clippers.
No, I did not have the Clippers on there. Although they lost Russ, they lost Paul George. I didn't have the Clippers on there.
Damn it.
The team that I have as the worst offseason across the NBA is the Miami Heat. What did they do this offseason? Did they do anything? They lost Caleb Martin. Did they do anything to improve that roster? Anything whatsoever?
Give me a second, and I'll tell you right now. They have...
Terry Rozier was a free agent. They brought him back. I'm not counting that.
Yeah, so... Notable losses, Caleb Martin and DeLon Wright. Notable additions, Alec Burks and Khalil Ware. So, yeah, literally did fuck all. Besides losing a guy that can shoot pretty good.
I think Pat Riley did this intentionally to piss off Jimmy Butler. I mean, Jimmy Butler is a troll. We know who Jimmy Butler is.
You're saying that there's no way the guy's the guy running a team is gonna do that to piss off one of his players.
He went into the offseason saying, we're not playing right now, so maybe Jimmy should shut up.
Yeah, I understand that, but he's not going to fucking lose himself millions of dollars and this and that and have a dumpster fire of a team because he's pissed off at a star player. If he was that pissed off, he'd say, buddy.
You do not know who Pat Riley is.
Well, if he does that, then he's a fucking retard.
He is a retard.
I don't think any owner's that retarded.
Well, he's not an owner. He's a high executive that like
whatever he is.
He's a legend.
Whatever he is.
Christ, you scared the fuck out of me.
But Robert, what do you say we get into some
Can I give you right now the
shit. Yeah, I have a
game
slot open.
1, game 2, and game 3 pitching matchups?
Sure.
All right, folks. So this is the game 1, 2, and 3 pitching matchups as reported by Andy Martino of SNY. Jack Flaherty versus Garrett Cole. Yamamoto versus Rodon. Walker Buehler versus Clark Schmidt for games 1, 2, and 3 in that order. Game 1, Cole Flaherty. Game 2, Yamamoto Rodon. Game 3, Buehler Clark Schmidt.
Good little pitching matchups right there, sir.
It's pretty decent. Yeah, Zach. So you want to go over our award picks?
Let's get into some picks here, Robert. I think I have a couple that might surprise you. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, Robbie. My MVPs, Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Players of the Year, they're going to be boring, okay? They're going to be boring picks. I'm going to be honest, be boring.
I might have went a little bit biased with my Rookie of the Year pick, but I have a reasoning for it.
Well, I'm just going to start it off with not even going to be my MVP pick, Robbie. It is going to be the MVP of this league this year. This man has finished in top 6 for MVP for the last, I believe it's 5 or 6 seasons in a row now. He's been knocking on the door. He has not gotten it done yet, but the man is getting better and better every year. He's a triple-double machine, and he is not a big man. It is Mr. Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks, Robbie. His time has come. And we got to think about a bias, too. I did want to pick Jokic because I do think Jokic is just the guy that can do everything the best in the league right now, just for passing, rebounding, scoring, just an all-around player. But the guys that are voting for MVP, Robbie, are not going to want to vote a 3-time in a row and a guy to win the award 4 times in the last 5 years.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. That was because it was between those two were my 2 picks.
Yep.
But I'm going to go with Luka.
I'll tell you what. Last year, I made a big fucking hoorah about Luka not winning the MVP because he absolutely should have won the MVP. Last year, they gave it to Nikola Jokic. And when you're giving out MVP awards, you figured that they're better than what they were when they first got, their MVPs. And Jokic's numbers are absolutely incredible. Don't get me wrong, but they're the same. Luka was nearly averaging a triple-double. He fell, I think, like a rebound per game short of a triple-double. The Mavs were by far than the Denver Nuggets, in my opinion, hence why they made the NBA Finals. So going into this year, yeah, I'm going to go with Luka Doncic for a second year in a row because he should have won it last year.
And I also just would like to point out, I've been hearing like some of my buddies been talking about it, saying, bro, I'm fucking putting some money on Wembanyama to win the MVP.
I thought about it.
Here's the problem, Robbie. You're not going to win the MVP when you're on a team that wins 30 games.
They're going to win more than 30 games this year.
Well, they're going to be a maybe a 6 to 8 spot playing team possibly, but they're not going to be. And I feel like an MVP is a guy that's on a team that's way up near the top of the standings.
I mean,
usually.
Russell Westbrook won an MVP award averaging a triple-double, and they were like a 7 or 8 seed.
I know, but obviously, who the hell was averaging triple-doubles back? That was something we had never seen before.
Yeah, since
unless Wemby. You know what? I guess Wemby does have the potential to do shit that we have never fucking seen before. So
yeah, I mean, FanDuel's doing a thing right now for Wemby bets. 50 points plus in a game, 55, 60, a quadruple double's like a plus 1,200 right now.
Yeah, fuck it.
We haven't seen a quadruple double since I think David Robinson.
I mean, he's the guy. He's possibly the guy that could do it.
He is for sure.
You know what, Robbie? If we're talking about Victor Wembanyama, obviously his defense is a massive part of his game. So why don't we get into the Defensive Player of the Year? And if I do remember correctly, he is the pretty big favorite to win this award.
He's a minus to win it. He's a minus.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest with you, this is Victor Wembanyama's award to win for probably the next 15 years. I mean, the guy is too big. Who the hell is going to be able to get more blocks on a 7'6" fucking?
See,
mutant?
but that's where I have the problem with this fucking Defensive Player of the Year award is because here comes the bias on me. Okay, it's biased. When Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving were still in Brooklyn, Nicholas Claxton was the favorite to win it. And Nicholas Claxton doesn't have the block numbers like Brooke Lopez and Rudy Gobert. Wemby wasn't in the league at that time yet. And the second that they got traded away, he faded away. The reason why he was a favorite is because he was able to guard 1 through 5 efficiently. He was able to pick up the point guard and guard him pretty well out of the pick and roll, pick and pop, whatever the situation was. Players like Nicholas Claxton that have his same style, that's what should be looked at for in terms of Defensive Player of the Year award, okay? Not Rudy Gobert, who averages 2.5 blocks per game, but gets sauced by fucking point guards because he can't guard him. That's not good defense. If you could, like, we live in a world now where everything is based off of analytics. There's got to be numbers out there where, like, they shoot like X% when this guy's guarding them in this sort of situation, whatever. You know what I mean? It can't be just like, let's look at the steals per game, block. Oh, Defensive Player of the Year. No. It needs to be examined hard. It needs to be examined more, especially when these writers and voters are making fucking 6 to 7 figures. It needs to be examined better.
Yeah, it does seem like a pretty stat run category, but I mean, to be honest with you, though, that's what people are gonna be looking at. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh, jumping Julies, Robert. But I have like I said, I got Victor Wembanyama winning Defensive Player of the Year. Robbie, who is your pick, sir?
Well, yeah, I went with Wemby as well.
Okay, well, that makes sense. All right, Mr. Robert. Next on the list, why don't we go with the Rookie of the Year? Now, I've gone first twice here, Robert. I think the floor is yours for this one.
Zach Edey's obviously the heavy favorite. It makes all the sense being paired up with John Morant. But, Zach, it's part of the decision was future injury, I think. 7'6", not very coordinated with his feet. I think him and Donovan Clingan both are going to suffer. Donovan Clingan already has foot problems in college. I think there's going to be something happen to him. I think something's going to happen to Zach Edey. But I also think that this guy might be a little more productive than most of the rookies, depending the situation. I went over to the Spurs and I picked on Stephen Castle from the University of Connecticut, now with the San Antonio Spurs. I think he's set up in a good position to learn under Chris Paul, to be with the greatest.
Of course, you picked a UConn guy.
Being paired up with the greatest coach to ever coach in Greg Popovich. I think he was the best rookie to come out of this draft. This draft wasn't impressive whatsoever. It was pretty bland, if you ask me. We don't know nothing about the first 2 picks because they're from out of the country, so only time will tell. But I was able to see what Stephen Castle could do. And the only flaw he had to his game was shooting the 3 ball. And that can be easily fixed.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I guess if he, he is set up with a pretty good situation. You say he's playing with the Spurs?
Yes.
Oh, so you got Wemby there with you. That's an assist guy right there to feed him the ball. So I guess, yeah, if he's able to solidify that 3-point shot, Robbie, then he's damn right got a good shot at it. Well, Mr. Robert.
You want me to?
So I guess that was probably, I have Zach Edey for the Rookie of the Year. I know he's obviously the big favorite. I'm a Canadian. I feel like, I got to show my red colors.
Yes, and Chris Paul learned from too. Yes.
But I mean, Zach Edey, obviously injury is going to be a concern for him because the guy is a mutant. Like, he is just bigger than 99.9% of planet fucking Earth.
Yep.
So you got to wait and see what's going to happen with that.
Over in Florida, you should watch Florida this year for college. I think they have a guy in the team that's 7'9".
Like, where the fuck? Okay, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Robert, let's move on to the Coach of the Year. Bob, that's pretty rude. That kid is just a child trying to live out his dream. Let's move on to the Coach of the Year, Robert. And this is one where I kind of sprawl. I went a little bit off the page for this one, Robert.
I did too. I think the favorite was Tom Thibodeau and Joe Mazzulla.
Yes. The problem I have with those two guys up there, though, is those teams have such high expectations going into the season where it's like, if you're a Coach of the Year, I feel like you got to be on a team where, not to say you don't have many expectations, but this team, I feel like with all the teams in the East, they're going to get overshadowed a little bit. I've actually already mentioned them once this episode. But I don't know why, Robbie, but I think this Cleveland Cavaliers team is going to be a good squad this year. And I'm going to take Kenny Atkinson as my Coach of the Year.
Wow. I love that pick, Zachary. I love it.
That's going to be my Coach of the Year.
I feel about Kenny Atkinson. I love it. That's a great fucking pick. That is.
And if I do recall correctly, he's like the 9th or 10th. Like those are great betting odds. If you did want to follow me, obviously I'm a bit of a retard, so take that with a grain of salt.
No shit.
But I just think that I think he's he's in a good situation where he can get this done.
I like that pick, Zachary, but I did not go in that direction. I did not go with Tom Thibodeau. I did not go with Joe Mazzulla. You know who I went with, Zachary? I'm not going with Jason Kidd either, Ryan. You know who I'm going with? First year with the big three. I'm going with Mike Budenholzer. I think last year, Frank Vogel, I knew wasn't going to work after 10, 15 games because you're talking about a guy that's trying to work with a bunch of offensive players that's a defensive-minded coach, and the offense didn't click at all. I mean, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker did their thing, but he wasn't able to utilize Bradley Beal at all.
Yeah.
Mike Budenholzer is an offensive wizard. There's a reason why the Atlanta Hawks, when they had Kyle Korver, Damari Carroll, Jeff Teague, Al Horford, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals was because of his knowledge of the offensive game. There's a reason why the Bucks, outside of Giannis being a dirty piece of shit and shattering Kyrie's ankle, won the NBA Finals was because of Mike Budenholzer. Mike Budenholzer is going to revamp the Suns offense, and they are going to make it to the NBA Finals. I'm just giving away my finals pick right then and right now. The Phoenix Suns are going to make the NBA Finals. Mike Budenholzer will be Coach of the Year.
Well, if Robbie didn't just already give it away, we were doing our NBA Finals prediction coming up here after our award picks, and we only have 2 more to go here, Robbie. The next one is Most Improved, and honest to God, Robbie, I was a bit lost on this one. The guy that I picked, I'm not too keen on him, to be honest with you, but I just think this team that he's playing on had some key players for the roster. Well, one key guy anyways. I don't know if you want to call him key anymore, but he was key at one point. Left the team. It's going to open up some more opportunity for him to get some baskets. I'm going to take Jonathan Kuminga of the Golden State Warriors.
I love that pick. Another great pick, Zachary. But I'll tell you what. I went Victor Wembanyama again. I just think that this guy's numbers are going to fucking drastically improve from last season. That the defensive player and the most improved is going to lead to the MVP probably the year after.
Damn. Well, that leaves the 6th Man of the Year award, Robbie, and I'm just going to get right into it here. I feel like this man has a fire lit under his ass.
That's pretty
from
good.
This offseason, Robbie. I feel like he sees red and he's out for revenge this year. And that is Mr. Dante DiVincenzo.
Tell me why, for some reason, I thought you were going to say Russell Westbrook for some reason.
No, God, no. God, no. God, no. No, I just think DiVincenzo, with the trade happening, kind of blindsiding him like that, I think he's got a lot to prove this year, and I think he's going to ball his fucking ass off, Robbie.
Yeah.
He's going to be a 6th man, right?
I believe so. I'm trying to check for you right now, as a matter of fact. NBA. I'm on FanDuel right now. I'll let you know.
I think I saw when I was looking at the odds, I think they had Malik Monk as the betting favorite for it.
Bro, they do not have Bronny specials, bro. Bronny's first made field goal in 2024-25 regular season game to be assisted by LeBron James. Bronny James' first assist to be to LeBron James. Bronny's method of basket for his first ever fucking points. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah.
The season award, 6 man. You said, who'd you say again, Zach? I'm sorry.
Dante DiVincenzo.
He's a plus 1,400. He is 4th on the list.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Oh, wait. 5th. Excuse me. He's 5th.
Okay. And Malik Monk is the favorite?
Malik Monk's a favorite at plus 650, but I'm not going with him.
No.
I'm going with Naz Reid. Naz Reid was a fucking stud last year when Karl-Anthony Towns was out with that injury. He filled in perfectly. Naz Reid is a very good basketball player, and unfortunately, Julius Randle is taken away what could have been his starting opportunity, but he's going to blemish. He's going to grow even more. I said blemish, but I'd say blossom. He's going to grow even more off of that bench with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Not a bad pick there at all, Robert. Not a bad pick at all.
What do you think was going to happen, dude? His fucking father is LeBron James. Of course he was going to get into the NBA with LeBron James.
Yeah, Bob, you should send that to the Lakers.
Okay, we have the New York Knicks starting lineup for tonight. Oh, if it would fucking load. Here we go.
The New York Knicks. The Knickerbockers.
Your starting lineup for your New York Knicks. At center from the University of Kentucky, number 32, Karl-Anthony Towns.
Zachary, you're a Toronto fan. What college at OGN do we go to?
Not a
With
goddamn
an
clue.
unknown college where he went to. Number 9, the 4, the power forward, OG Anunoby. And the Villanova brothers at the 3, number, I think it's 3, Josh Hart. And at shooting guard, number 25, Mikal Bridges. And Jalen Brunson at point.
Yeah, that was tough on there, Robert. Jesus Christ almighty. Well, as Rob is crying his tears away, folks, before we get on to the start of the NBA season and some NFL talk here coming up soon, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extensions and signings to go over here in the NBA. So why don't we start it off with the Houston Rockets, Robbie, making a pair of extensions here.
Yeah.
Starting off with Jalen Green with a 3-year, $106 million extension. And just when you thought, oh, that's pretty impressive, well, why don't we also bring in or re-sign Alperen Sengun to a 5-year, $185 million extension? Holy fuck balls, Robbie.
It sounds like a lot of money, dude, but now where the max contract is $60 million, they got these guys at a fucking bargain.
Well, to me, like, the amount of money that's in basketball is fucking ridiculous.
It is. I think Luka can make like $100 million per year if he makes first All NBA team this year.
Which is absolutely ridiculous.
It's nuts. Hockey players fucking hate their lives right now.
I mean, obviously these are two signings, Robbie, that the Rockets were gonna do regardless. I mean, there's no surprise here whatsoever.
Yes.
I mean, this guy's turning into be an absolute stud in the center position for him. Jalen Green, top pick from a few years ago. I don't really know if we've seen like a full potential yet of what he can do. Obviously, we've seen some spurts.
We saw spurts last year.
Exactly. We see some spurts, so if we can get a more consistent game from him, I mean, we could be looking at an absolute steal of a contract in a couple of years. So,
indubitably.
Two big signings there, Robert. Let's move on to a team. Oh, shit. You know what, Robbie? Yeah, whatever. We'll do the signings, then we'll end off with our finals picks because I meant to do that before these signings, but that's okay. From the Denver Nuggets here, Aaron Gordon agreeing to an extension with the Nuggets, 4 years, $133 million. I mean, for Aaron Gordon, that seems a bit excessive, but I guess he does still have some bounce left in him.
Yeah, I don't really need a further comment on Aaron Gordon. I mean, I'm going to be the reason. I want to make sure that I'm a reason why Russ wins a ring. Shut the fuck up, dude. You're not even. You might be the fourth best player in the team.
My God. Robbie, I'm going to say another one here, too. That's a bit of a head scratcher to me. And I mean, maybe you can tell me more about this guy. I don't know if you know much about him either, but Jalen Suggs and the Orlando Magic signing a 5-year, $150.5 million extension. I mean, I guess it just goes what you just said earlier this
is another, I believe he was out of Gonzaga. This is another guy that was highly regarded. I believe he was in the same draft with Jalen Green, and he stepped up defensively last year. He was very, very good defensively. And then bringing in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who is a veteran and one of the best defenders to also be in the league as well throughout his time. Yeah, I mean, lock him up. You know, you got a great young core with Paulo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony. This could be a good Magic team. I'm excited to see the Magic this year.
Yeah. I mean, just add it to the just add it to the onslaught of absolute dog teams in this fucking Eastern Conference, Robbie. We might win a combined 40 games this year between our two teams.
Dude, it's crazy, and I know you're gonna fucking hate me to say this. What version are we going to get of fucking Ben Simmons, dude? Is he going to
Stop right there. You know exactly what version of Ben Simmons you're going to. There is no different versions of Ben Simmons anymore. This is Ben Simmons now. This is getting outrageous. This is getting outrageous.
All right, I may overstep with Ben Simmons, but what kind of a scorer could Cam Thomas be? Cam Thomas is now going to have the ball in his hand all the time.
Okay, well, now we're talking about a guy that actually has some maybe some potential to make some.
Claxton getting his money. And at one point, do they sell off the team? Because they got veteran assets like Bojan Bogdanovic and Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith. So we'll see what happens.
Can I ask you a question, though? Realistically, without even being a bias to the Nets, how many games this year do you see Ben Simmons suiting up in? Like, what would you be happy with him playing this year? 40?
What I'd be happy with him playing is 55 games. What is he going to play? 12.
Yeah.
Or 10 to master.
He'll have back spasms coming in.
my back from when Jerome was fucking me in my ass.
Okie dokies. Well, one more signing to go over here, Robbie, and we are going to the New Orleans Pelicans. Trey Murphy the third. And the New Orleans Pelicans agreeing to a 4-year, $112 million extension. I believe he's starting out the season on the IR. I believe so.
Maybe, but I know that he was filling in last year when Brandon Ingram was going through his injuries. The Pelicans are interesting because they bring in DeJounte Murray. There's still conflict going on with them and Brandon Ingram. At one point, if it's going to become a problem, you get rid of him. And then the other thing, too, with the Pelicans, what matters the most, obviously, what matters the most with the Pelicans, Zachary? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mr. Zion?
Mr. Zion's health.
Also, when are we like? I thought when Zion came in this league, dude, we were looking at a LeBron James 2.0, but even more of a bowling ball. And I haven't seen anything from this guy yet. Not anything. I shouldn't say that, but I haven't seen anything where I thought I was going to see from him.
If you can't stay on the court, then what are we going to see out of him, man?
Yep, that's what happens. You're a big motherfucker like that guy. That guy is huge. Yeah. But Robbie, that is it for the picks there.
Being in New Orleans doesn't help with that good ass food they got down there.
Well, they do have some southern cooking, baby.
Southern hospitality.
But Robbie,
Zachary, before you forget.
No, I was gonna say before we move on, let's do our pick right now, okay?
Zachary, I'll go first since I already gave you one half of my teams.
Yes. So Phoenix Suns representing the West.
And out of the East, I'm going with the Boston Celtics. They're going to get Porzingis back at some point. They got the same roster on hand. I'm going with the Celtics and the Suns. I have the Phoenix Suns in 6 games.
Well, Robert, you know what? It does sound crazy that you just said the Suns, but I guess realistically, look at the roster. It's not that crazy, especially with Bodenhauser coming in. I do have the Celtics coming out of the East again. I just think that team is too good. They're too deep. And I have a team that was close last year, Robbie, the Minnesota Timberwolves I have coming out of the West. But unfortunately, I have the Celtics winning back-to-back.
All right, folks, that's our NBA discussion. Season tips off in 14 minutes. Stay with us while you also watch the game. Zachary, once the intro's done, I got some breaking news out of the NFL. We're getting sued.
Food!
Breaking news out of the NFL. The New Orleans Saints and Alvin Kamara have agreed to a 2-year extension worth $24.5 million that comes out to $12.25 million per year. That's the breaking news, Zachary. Now,
Bam.
The Saints, they got to see. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen now because he's been in the league since like 2017, 2018. I mean, we're talking 6 to 7 years, which in running back terms is a long time. He still has some left to give. We see what he did the first 2 weeks of football. Yep. I mean, this team is not good enough to compete. They're not. And they're not going to be good to compete for a long time. They got to go through a whole fucking rebuild. And then they got to fire Dennis Allen. And they're trying to like stick with what I don't get it. They should have tried to dish off Kamara. But then again, excuse me.
Yeah.
What were they going to get? A 4th round, 5th round pick? But then again, a lot of good running backs are coming from the 4th round or later. I don't know. I think that they wasted their time giving this guy an extension, said trade him off.
Yeah, it's especially with the running backs. Like once he's at that point now, Robbie, where it's there's only been one guy in recent memory I can see that's reached a point where we thought, okay, he's now getting to this age where he's going to start declining, and he did start declining. But I mean, he's not. I don't think he's a Derrick Henry, and what Derrick Henry's doing this year is kind of breaking the laws of physics, to be honest with you, for his age, and it's to me, I guess it's not that bad of a contract though. I mean, if you are looking at different running back contracts, it's not great, but
no,
you are getting a guy that still is a fucking top 10 running back in the league. Now, will he be a top 10 running back in 2 years from now? We'll have to wait and find out for that, puppy.
All right, Zachary, you know what? I'm going to interrupt you.
No. No.
You know, I know what you're doing here, Robbie, okay? What Robbie's alluding to, guys, first of all, I'm going to call this week 7 of the NFL is going to go down as the week of injuries. Injuries. Because motherfuckers were dropping like flies this week. But the first one to go down.
One more. Hold on. One more dog.
Was my quarterback, Deshaun Sexual Assaulter Watson. It is true, folks. Deshaun Watson on a no-contact injury has torn his Achilles, Robbie. And to be honest with you, Robbie, he was actually having a good game when it went down. He was like 15 for 17 for 126 yards in the first half, which he hasn't thrown for over 200 yards in a game this season. And it was kind of progressing to get to that point there. He goes down with the Achilles injury, and then the entire Cleveland Browns stadium starts chanting and cheering and just basically celebrating the fact that their quarterback's leg just blew up in front of them. Which, honest to God, Robbie, I'm not even going to get angry at him for doing that, because the football that we've seen from this man this year has been so terrible. I don't get,
You're a piece of shit.
What?
You're not going to get angry at your fans for cheering for him. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because you were cheering when Kevin Durant got hurt, you fucking scumbag. What is it with you and your fan bases that cheer athletes getting hurt?
I will say this, Robbie. The one thing that fucking pissed me off about this whole thing was all these Cleveland Browns players coming out after calling this man a model citizen and this and that. What are we doing here?
Right. Would you like to listen to Jameis Winston's 2-minute and 20-second talk?
Yes, and I think he's a fucking moron. It was a powerful message, but I also think half the shit he's saying, he's a fucking moron. We're talking about a man that has like 40-something sexual assault cases. 20-something settled, 20-something still pending, Robert. The guy is not a model citizen in any regard.
Before we play Jameis Winston. Here's Jameis Winston.
No audio. No audio.
Please hold. Please hold.
It's a live show, folks.
Jameis Winston.
The way I was raised, I was taught to love no matter the circumstances, especially for people who do right by you. I'm grateful that I had a chance to serve the Son, but I am very upset with the reaction to a man that has had the world against him for the past 4 years, and he put his body and life on the line for this city.
He's not fighting in Vietnam,
regardless of your perception, regardless of what you thought should happen with him. He committed every single day
and
that I've been here.
Also committed about 40-something sexual assault felonies
for this team. And I know I come from the deep South, Birmingham, Alabama, Beltsman, Alabama. So I know the standard that hungry fans want. But the way I was raised, I will never pull on a man when he's down. But I will be the person to lift him up. And that all of us have unique experiences. All of us have circumstances, conditions, and facts that we face every single day. And I pride myself in being a man of increase and being a man that wants the best out of everybody. I tell myself every morning, what I want for myself, I want for everyone. And I do not want the treatment that Deshaun Watson has received from these passionate fans. I know you love this game. So when I first got here, I knew these were some amazing fans. But Deshaun was treated badly. And now he has to overcome another obstacle. So I'm going to support him. I'm going to lift him up. And I'm going to be there for him. Because I see the way he fights. I see the way that he works. And I know who he is as a person and as an NFL quarterback.
Rapist.
And that's all I have to say to address him. I'm sending up my prayers. I already prayed for his leg. And I will
Get this shit off. Get this shit off. I will say this right now. Would you, that man right there might be one of the greatest teammates of all time. I feel like Jesus Christ. Obviously, okay. You know what? When I said I don't blame the
Call
fans,
him a rapist.
Deshaun Watson is. You know what? Deshaun Watson, I'm so done with this guy right now. But I will say this, Robbie. I'm not going to wish an Achilles tear on anybody, okay? It's obviously not something you ever want to see. But the fact of the matter is, and yes, you know what? It was a pretty bad look for these fans to be booing him like that.
Who the fuck are you kidding? You would have cheered too if you were there.
What do you expect, though, Robert? We paid this man $230 fucking million, all guaranteed. And what has he done for this team besides be injured and quit on this team? The man has quit on this team this year. It's blatant. It is 100% evident. And now he literally has quit on this team because his ankle quit on him. But to me, it's all these guys coming to his defense, which obviously you have to do it. It's your quarterback. He's one of the captain leaders of your team. You don't want to see your home fans literally celebrating and you don't have to, but it's something you should do if you're a member of the squad and you're one of the guy's boys and you're going into battle with the guy every day. And also laying his life on the line too. That's comical. All right, that's comical. Am I laying my life on the line every day when I go to work because I can get shocked and die? No. I'm doing my fucking job. I'm not going into war and fighting for my country or fucking, just take a step back here, Jameis. Jesus Christ. And also, I find it hilarious. Deshaun Watson goes down with his Achilles injury, and they don't even play Jameis Winston.
He was out. He was out.
No, he was not out, Robbie. He got downgraded. He got downgraded to our third-string quarterback before that game. That game was the first.
He was inactive. No, he was inactive. I had an update on Twitter saying he. I read it.
He was inactive. He was inactive because he got their depth chart changed where Dorian Thompson-Robinson became the backup and Jameis was the third string. The third strings they're not activated for the game, are they?
They have the emergency quarterback thing now because of what happened in the NFC Championship game, and he was marked as inactive. I read it live when we were doing the show on Sunday that he was inactive.
Yeah, he still played that game. Bob just said that right. Dorian Thompson-Robinson got injured, and Jameis ended up finishing up the game because I heard before that game that he was the Cleveland Browns because our manager, I can't remember the guy's name, but because I think it's something Andrew Barry or something, but because he's the guy that was so high on drafting this Dorian Thompson-Robinson guy in the 5th round or whatever it was last year, he wants to see him play over Jameis. But I mean, obviously the season's done. We're not going to make a playoff spot. At this point, I have no problem. Put DTR out there. Let's fucking lose out the rest of the season. Get us a top pick in the draft and start this rebuild up yet again. Because now you can probably assume Nick Chubb's probably gone this offseason because why the fuck would he want to re-sign here to be on a losing team? Myles Garrett is getting speculation on speculation on speculation of being traded up to this trade deadline coming up. And honestly, if they do trade him, I'm going to be fucking heartbroken, but I can understand why they would do it. You're going to get a haul for him. This team isn't going to win shit in the next couple seasons, next fucking decade probably with the roster we have assembled right now unless some drastic changes happen. So to me, do the moves you got to do, get some draft picks, and let's start this thing over again. But if we can, please let's keep Myles Garrett.
Well, Deshaun Watson was 15 of 17 for 120 passing yards before the injury, Zachary.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He was having a good game. You want to hear something else hilarious, Robbie?
Yes.
Deshaun Watson, the next 2 seasons, makes $76.5 million a year on salary cap. $76.5 million a year is Deshaun Watson's pay for the next 2 seasons coming up. So, fuck me in my ass. That's how I feel right now. I'm getting raw fucked in my ass. That's how fucking terrible it is being a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm literally getting plowed. There's no other way to just say it. I'm done talking about this team. Deshaun Watson, have a speedy recovery. Fucking sexual assaulter. Go fuck yourself. And let's move on, Robert.
But before we do, Nick Chubb gets a touchdown.
Nick Chubb, 11 carries, 22 yards with a touchdown.
Look at that. Sympathy for you.
You know what? The thing that makes me upset, too, about this team is you even look at last year. I don't know why this team has such bad injury problems. But you look at last year what Joe Flacco did. Why did we ever let him walk? I just don't get it. Who's running this? A bunch of fucking morons? To me, it just blows me the fuck away, Robbie.
You know you don't want to call them morons. You want to call them the other way.
They're a bunch of stupid retards. A bunch of stupid fucking retards running this damn team. That's who it is.
Okay, and last thing. Jerry Jeudy, who we all thought was going to be the number one, had 5 targets, only reeled in 1 catch for 18 yards. Their best receiver, it looked like wide receiver, because David Njoku had a day, 10 receptions, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Cedric Tillman, 12 targets, 8 receptions, 81 yards.
Cedric Tillman's a guy that I've been hearing his name now for the last couple of years where I feel like he could be a big piece of our offense. Probably not so much this season, but going forth. Another guy to keep your eye on with the Amari Cooper trade is Jamari Thrash is going to be another guy, or Thrashy, maybe his last name is.
Yeah.
He'll be, I think he was a 5th-round draft pick for us this year. He's a guy that I'm going to keep my eye on. But, I mean, to me, Robbie, at this point, and I literally do mean this, I hope to God we do not win another football game this year. I want to be the worst team in the league. I want to get first overall, and I want my pick of the litter.
Wow. Well, unfortunately for you, the New England Patriots still exist. So
I know, and you guys are terrible. Let's be honest. But
I mean, Drake May actually looks good. It's just that,
yeah, you have a promising quarterback future. Don't I know? Don't worry. I've been watching him play. He looks good.
Who would you take at number 1? Shadir Sanders?
No, I would not take Shedeur Sanders. I think there's too much of an ego with that guy. I would probably go with the Miami Hurricanes quarterback Cam Ward.
Oh,
maybe the Georgia quarterback Carson Beck.
Shut the fuck up. Stop.
What's wrong with those picks?
They are not better than Shedeur Sanders, number 1. Number 2, those 3 guys aren't even going to be NFL caliber quarterbacks in years coming.
Pretty sure they're projected. If I do an NFL draft, I think they're projected to be up there.
Fantastic. Zach Wilson was up there. He fucking sucks. Trey Lance was up there. He fucking sucks.
So you're such a talent scout. You were big on Mac Jones, who also sucks.
That's a fucking lie. You can go back and look at the tapes when they had Kyle. When they selected Mac Jones, I was pissed. Did I have hope after his first year? Absolutely. He went fucking 11-5. Of course I did. But it's also noted that the Patriots let him down when his offensive coordinators, plural, were Joe Judge, who was taking knees inside of his own 10-yard line, and Matt Patricia. He was failed in New England, and that's an absolute fact. Does it mean that he was going to be a top 10 quarterback or top 15 quarterback? No. But did he show signs after his first season when he had an offensive coordinator that was comparable? Yes.
Just so you know, by the way, I just Googled it, and right now Cam Ward is the top projected quarterback. So
congratulations. You can fucking have him. He stinks.
All right, well, we'll just have to wait and see. Robbie, we have a lot of injuries to go over here, and I mean, I feel like, should I just start going through this list here?
Let's go through it. Let's go through the one that was worth $30 million per year.
Brandon Ayuk, who has missed training camp, signed his big contract, turned down a trade to the Patriots, turned down a trade to the Browns, signs his big ticket here with the San Francisco 49ers, basically shoves his thumb in his asshole for the first 5-6 weeks of this league, this year, does absolutely dick ball sack vagina, and then gets himself thrown on the IR with a torn ACL, done for the year. The San Francisco 49ers team, Robbie, they just cannot catch a break. George Kittle also got injured that game as well, too, but not near severe as what Brandon Ayuk had. But keep your eye on that. Another injury to add to their fucking extensive list. No Christian McCaffrey still to play this season. But this Brandon Ayuk one, Robbie, I don't feel bad at all, to be honest with you. I don't feel bad. That's called karma for being a piece of shit all year. All right, karma comes in a lot of different packages, and unfortunately, yours was just a torn ACL.
Bruh.
Bro, you're just mad because he fucking denied fucking Cleveland. He denied New England too. Like, you're a fucking scumbag.
Hey, shit happens, man.
Well, as Alex and Dad are putting in the chat, as I already know, I don't know if you knew, Devo Samuel was hospitalized with pneumonia. He was released about an hour or two ago. He's out of the hospital, but something that should be taken serious. I mean, pneumonia's been running around like crazy, dude.
And it's a silent killer right there, pneumonia. She'll take you out, I tell you.
I know someone that basically died because of pneumonia, dude.
Oh, well, way to bring some good vibes to the podcast, Robert.
I know how you are, and that you would make some sort of fucked up joke, and I just want to let you know, it was only like a couple weeks ago, so please.
Okay, I won't then.
Great guy. He'll be missed.
Well, Robert, Brandon Ayuk, as I just said, done for the year. Another man that's done for the year, Robert. And this one was a stinger to me because he has been lighting up my fantasy football team this year. Chris Godwin of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, done for the season after dislocating his ankle yesterday and getting season-ending ankle surgery today. Mike Evans also went down that game too, so Tampa Bay's offense basically could be fucked. I mean... but if you guys,
call up Tennessee and just be like, what's it going to take for D-Hop? They need something because they're not going to get Cooper Kupp. They should just go see what they call up New England, see what you get from New England. They have a lot of role type of wide receivers. Maybe you could utilize them better than New England does. I mean, there's options out there, but Tampa can't quit in the season, dude. Baker Mayfield has been so fucking good. The offense has been amazing.
Yeah.
Now it's a matter of, do they go running back committee between Bucky Irving and Rashad White? And there was a third guy there. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Does Cade Otton stepped up because he's been pretty good out of the tight end slot? I mean, I'm not ready.
Jalen McMillan.
Turner, whatever Turner's first name is. And I know Alex is right about Turner because Moochie was talking about Turner at work, I think yesterday.
Well, I mean,
are you drinking a Corona?
Yeah, that was all I had.
You don't have any Busch Lights?
No, I had one Busch Light, but I had a couple Coronas left in from a couple of
right
weekends
now.
ago.
I make sure that fridge is stocked with Oktoberfest when the season is here and the High Life. You dig? But this beats the High Life every day of the week.
Oh, Robert, more injuries to go over here, my man. More injuries to go over. From the Seattle Seahawks, another wide receiver going down. DK Metcalf carted off with a knee injury. However, it does not look to be as severe as what people were expecting it to look like after being carted off. I want to say it was an MCL sprain, if I saw that correctly.
Yes.
So I believe the return for that is about 4 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks, I think is what I saw.
I don't know. Let's go to I don't know the range, but with DK Metcalf's strength, I'm gonna put it within 2 to 6.
Yeah, so I mean, realistically, if you are a Seattle Seahawks fan, dude, you
Good
dodged
thing they
a
got
bullet.
Jigba, thank God.
Yeah, and I mean Seattle with a game of their life last week too. Jesus Christ, they're coming back now.
Yeah, they were motivated because they lost 3 or 4 in a row, 3 in a row,
Yep.
I think. Yeah, 3 in a row. Like they came back fucking motivated. They looked great against Atlanta. Atlanta looked lost. Kirk Cousins gets a bloody nose. He was getting fucking flopped around. What other injuries we got?
Robbie, we have 2 quarterbacks going down with injury, starting off with the less of the 2 quarterbacks. Aiden O'Connell broke his thumb on a throw, so Gardner Minshew will be the starting quarterback for the future here of the Las Vegas Raiders. Who gives a fuck about that, Robbie?
Speaking of the Raiders, there's only one thing to care about with the Raiders. Do you think they should trade Max Crosby, and what team do you think should get him?
I think they will trade Max Crosby, and I think the Detroit Lions will be the team to acquire him.
The line, like seriously, this is a match made in heaven with the way that they play, with the way that they're coached. I mean, I would give up, honestly, dude, I give up 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby.
Now, just theoretically, Robbie, if there was a Myles Garrett trade to happen, what sort of return would I be looking at?
I think minimum second or third round. I think the Browns could manage to get a first-round pick, but then again, when was he drafted? 2018, 2019?
You say a second round?
How old is he, bro?
He's not that old. He just won the Defensive Player of the Year last year.
But didn't he also suffer like a torn ACL or torn pec or
No,
something?
he just has little injuries here or there.
Never had a season-ending injury.
No, I think the only time he missed it with the season was when he knocked Mason Rudolph in the head with his own helmet and got suspended for the rest of the year.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. Like, you should know. This is your fucking player, and you don't have the valid information.
I thought for sure we're getting multiple first-round picks for this generational talent. 2. I want 2 first-round picks.
You can want everything you want. Your team fucking sucks. People don't care that much.
You want to win a Super Bowl, and the Detroit Lions are that desperate and they don't get Max Crosby. You bet your tits they're going to be making a call. What do 2 first-round picks matter for the Detroit Lions right now? Zilch. Exactly. That's what they matter. They matter a belch fucking nasty, dirty Oktoberfest burp.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Cleveland Browns, after Deshaun Watson's ruptured Achilles, are officially eliminated.
All hail the New York Giants!
That's when your season went to shit, bucko.
Bam, Robert. Well, Robert, one more injury to talk about here, and this one is a tough one because this rookie quarterback has been a phenom all year, the story of the year. Yeah. Jaden Daniels with a rib injury going down week to week, not expected to miss too much time. So Marcus Mariota will be manning the quarterback position for them in the meantime. So at least they do have somewhat of a comparable backup.
Sunday. I talked about it on Sunday, did I not?
You did. So, I mean, and Rob, maybe you spoke it into existence, Robbie. Maybe this is your fault.
That's fair. But I'm not going to fucking sit here and celebrate like you would, you piece of shit.
I wouldn't celebrate for Jaden Daniels. No. But I'll throw a fucking party once.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give Zach the fort here. I need a simple yes or no answer. Nothing more, nothing less, unless you want to further evaluate. Did you or did you not smile, cheer, whatever when Deshaun Watson ruptured his Achilles?
I actually did not, to be honest with you. When I first heard that he got injured, I went like this. I went, yeah, like this every year. This fucking happens. And then I saw the video, Robbie, and I was like, oh. I'm like, that. You knew right away. I'm like, that's a torn Achilles. Like, just right away. I actually did not laugh. My reaction was kind of like, it's kind of fucking shit. You don't want to see that.
Now, part of me would say not to believe you, but I'll be honest. I 100% believe everything you're saying right now. I do.
I did have a laugh when I saw that he got injured, though, but I didn't know what the injury was. And then when I saw I had not a laugh, but just more like oh my God. You're like, every year this happens. Every year this guy gets injured. You have to laugh at it at some point. And then I saw the video and I said, ooh, okay, that's an injury.
Ooh,
But enough about him. The last bit of news, Rod, before we can go over some of these games here. This one on the opposite end of the injury, a man coming back from injury to bolster up this Rams wide receiver core. Mr. Puka Nacua activated off of the IR.
And
also
Cooper
news coming out
Thursday.
Yes. Well, Cooper Kupp is also being thrown into some serious trade speculation as well.
Right.
Now, there's one team that kind of comes to mind here, Robert.
I know who you're going to say off the rip.
Who is it?
You're going to say Kansas City.
Yeah, exactly. I think and Cooper Kupp's a guy you could get
Cooper
for
Kupp goes to Kansas City. Oh fuck.
And what would a Cooper Kupp price be? If I'm going to guess, I would say it'd be similar to what the Browns paid for Amari Cooper when they got Amari Cooper.
What? A fifth or sixth round?
Dude, the guy's been injured for the last 2.5 seasons.
He is significantly better than Amari Cooper.
I don't know. I think the injuries are going to play a big factor into whatever trade deal they're going to get going here.
He's worth a second round.
And is he a Devontae Adams 3rd round pick like that? You know what I mean?
Second round pick.
Oh, I disagree.
He's a second round pick.
I disagree with that. Well, Robert, why don't we go over some of these games here? How about that?
All right, let's start with last Thursday.
Okay, let me just load it up here.
I got to look. Can I do this? I haven't done this in a while because you've taken.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, last Thursday, folks, we were live on Tuesday. Oh, we did break this down on Sunday. I don't think we really need to further evaluate.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
We did break down the Broncos and the Saints and how it was an absolute ass whooping in Denver. We talked about how and it's crazy too, Zachary. They've played 4 games on the road. They're 3-1 on the road.
Yeah, the Broncos are one of those feisty teams, Robert.
Sean Payton's a great coach. Bo Nix just does enough for them to win games. Their defense is very good, so as long as he can do enough on the offensive end, they win these games. Sunday morning, I believe we were on until the conclusion of this game, if not just a little bit before it ended. But the Jaguars handled the Patriots no problem, 32-16, doubling up their score. Tanks Bigsby had a hell of a game, 26 carries, I think it says, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. Drake May was statistically apparently the better quarterback, 26 of 37 with 275 yards and 2 tutties.
I also, speaking of Tank Bigsby, Robbie, I mean, obviously one of the coolest names of all time, but his real name, I heard it on part of my take this week, his real name, kind of just as cool as Tank Bigsby.
What's his real name?
Quintavious Bigsby.
It's pretty cool. Zachary, also, by the way, I won some money this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I'll get through it. We kind of talked about the Seahawks and the Falcons already, 34-14. We kind of broke that down when we were talking about the DK Metcalf injury. We could skip through that. Yeah. The Bills dominated the Titans, as you and I anticipated. The 9-point spread was no problem. When I was doing my parlay, it was all live picks because I forgot to do it on the show. I was doing it as it was live. They won 34-10. They were minus 7.5 for my parlay. That hit. I did not do this one, although it was my 1-point play, Zachary. I took your Browns as a plus 5.5. They ended up losing the game 21-14. We kind of alluded to that game. We were breaking down Deshaun Watson's injury. Green Bay holds on to beat the Texans 24-2. And Zach, I mean, this NFC North, I mean, they are all eligible to make the playoffs right now.
Can we also allude to the big signing the Packers made last week? That was the reason they won this game.
Yeah, and if Ryan was here, he would tell you it's because they have a kicker that doesn't have diabetes, and I'm sure Ryan was chanting this.
Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go!
Go, Pack, go. Yes, indeed, Robbie. That was a good game, though, Robert.
Give the defense credit. They held CJ Stroud in check.
Yeah, CJ Stroud did fucking
He
nothing.
looked terrible. 10
Help
of
me out,
20,
too.
86 passing yards.
I was facing the first place guy in my fantasy league who has CJ Stroud as his quarterback, so I was able to take him down, Robert.
I bet he was pissed. What a game by Green Bay and their defense. And Jair Alexander and Stephon Diggs get into it yet again. I mean, you have Marshawn Lattimore. Oh, did I lose you or are we still here? Did I lose you?
Nope, so here.
It's doing that stupid bullshit again. We're fucking StreamYard. Like, I can't fucking control the fucking buttons again because my screen is just showing me, you, and the fucking who's he, what's a dinger thing.
Okay.
Damn it. Fuck. Anyways. Before I threw a fucking temper tantrum, what was I talking about?
Green Bay.
Oh, Jair Alexander and Stephon
yes.
Diggs were getting into it. And it looks like we have our newer version of Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans with Stephon Diggs and Jair Alexander whenever they
love
face
to see it.
It's not going to be every year. Look at his Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Evans, but it's worth noting. Colts win the game against the Dolphins 16-10 with Anthony Richardson at the helm. And Zachary, you might be right about Anthony Richardson. He might be ass.
He might be ass, Robbie. He is ass. I saw a stat today. The man is 48% for completions this year. Ass. He also leads the league in 23% of his throws being thrown out of range of his wide receivers to catch the ball. That is a quarter of his throws, Robbie, that are uncatchable by wide receivers or the receiver he's throwing to. That is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
He sucks dick.
He is not good. Arguably the game of the week, the Detroit Lions game-winning field goal by the gentleman out of the UFL who was hitting 60-yard field goals. Wins the game for the Detroit Lions on the road in Minnesota. They win the game 31-29. And Zach, I think I saw a stat where Jared Goff in his last 4 games has more touchdown passes than incompletions.
Okay, Robbie, speaking of this man, Jared Goff,
yeah.
there has got to be a new name in the favorite for MVP award this year, and his name has got to be Jared Goff. The man has 2 games this year, one with a perfect passer rating. I don't know if he got a perfect passer rating against the Vikings there, but it was pretty much almost a perfect game. Vikings with a 5-0 team going in, the top team in the NFC. They take them down in an absolute nail-biter. The way Jared Goff is playing football right now, Robert, is at the top of a game that he's ever played before. This is the best version of Jared Goff I've ever seen. And this Lions team is scary. Scary good.
They are super scary, dude. They are super scary.
But also, this
Bowl
was a good measuring stick game for the Minnesota Vikings, because I mean, obviously the Vikings, no one had really too much anticipation for them going into or expectation rather going into the season. But they end up starting off 5-0, looking great. This was their first real true test, Robbie, and they didn't win, but I'm not going to say this was a fail by any means. This was a game that could have went either way. It came down to a last second kick from not a chip shot either. Like, it was a fucking hell of a kick. You got to give the credit there. And, I mean, this Vikings team is a team that is absolutely legit this year.
I absolutely agree with you, Zach. And Sam Darnold looked pretty fucking – I mean, and there's rumors that the Vikings and the Rams are looking at doing a trade for Matthew Stafford. Why? Sam Darnold is fucking amazing this year, dude. It's weird, but it's true.
And finally, it took him 7 years.
Give the man his –
He's the new Geno Smith.
Zachary, how long could you break down this next game I'm going to give to you so I can try to restart this thing? Because I'm sure it's still going to show you, but I got to restart the StreamYard shit.
Whichever one you do, I'll break it down. If I break it down too fast, I'll just go on to the next one.
All right. Eagles. Saquon's return. 20-3 against the New York Giants. Zachary, break it down as long as you can. I'm going to restart this thing.
Philadelphia Eagles, and not even just the Eagles, guys. Saquon Barkley went into that stadium and just said, Daniel Jones, I'm your fucking dada. And he ran that ball down the Giants' throat all game long, over 170 yards, couple touchdowns, 28-3, an absolute shit kicking of epic proportions by Saquon Barkley and this Philadelphia Eagles team. And guys, a little statistic for you here. There has been a hockey goal scored at MetLife Stadium more recently than Daniel Jones has thrown a touchdown at MetLife Stadium. We are almost approaching 2 years. It's like 500 and something days.
600, bro. 600.
Since this man has thrown a touchdown.
And, bro, Drew Lock went into the game, too, and he didn't look at Zachary. I said it before, and I'm going to continue to fucking say it, and people laugh at me, but by God, I really do think Tommy DeVito is better than Daniel Jones.
That's what pissed me off about Daniel Jones, though, because he has these moments where he looks like he could be like a legit good quarterback, and then these duds just start coming up, and it's like, this is a game, if you're Daniel Jones, the Giants too, that you went in hungry for, because you want to stick it to the guy who left your team to go to a division rival, which I do not blame the guy at all for doing it, because I want to get the fuck out of New York for the Giants if I'm playing for that shithole franchise.
Zach, correct these names if I say them wrong, okay?
Yeah.
NHL players that have scored a goal at MetLife Stadium more recently than Daniel Jones has thrown a touchdown. Nico Hischier.
Yep, pretty good.
Tyler Toffoli. Owen Tippett.
Yep.
Brendan Smith. Nathan Bastian. Nick Seeler, Eric Gustafson, Brock Nelson, Bo Hovart, Matt Barzal, Anders Lee, Vincent Trocheck, Alexander Romanoff, Chris Kreider, Mika Zibanejad, Artemi Panarin.
That is an extensive list of hockey players that have scored a goal at that stadium before Daniel Jones has thrown his a touchdown there.
Players with more passing touchdowns than Daniel Jones, 0. At MetLife Stadium since the start of last season. All at one, we have Bo Nix, Desmond Ridder, Mac Jones, Tua, Matthew Stafford, Marcus Mariota, Geno Smith, Trevor Siemian, Jordan Love, Tim fucking Boyle, Patrick Mahomes, Jacoby Brissett. At 2, we have Sam Darnold, Tommy DeVito, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts. 3, Josh Allen. 4, Tyrod Taylor. 4, Aaron Rodgers. Zachary, take a guess who has 6 passing touchdowns.
At MetLife?
Yep.
Zach Wilson.
Zach fucking Wilson, bro.
Well, Aaron Rodgers has already tied Zach Wilson and whoever the quarterback was the year before that's interception totals. However, Zach Wilson hit, I believe it was 7 interceptions through 12 games. Aaron Rodgers is at a torrid pace, Robbie, and he has done it in 7. And this poses the question here, Robert. Is Aaron Rodgers ass?
Let's break it into a little bit later on when we recap the game, you say.
Okay, Toki, sir.
All right, next one. We have the Rams 20-15 against the Raiders. Anything really to break down here, Zachary? Outside of Brock Bowers, actually looks pretty goddamn good for the Raiders.
Brock Bowers is good. As I said earlier, Aiden O'Connell went down with an injury. Doesn't really matter for the Rams or Raiders season. Their season's done. Rams next week getting Puka Nacua back. Cooper Kupp might be coming back, so keep your eye on their offense. But that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
Commanders handle the Panthers no problem, even with the Jane Daniels injury, 40-7 final score.
Yeah, Andy Dalton, tough one.
49ers lose at home. Kansas City wins the game 28-18. They remain as the only undefeated team in the NFL.
I got to pause here real quick.
Sure.
Patrick Mahomes on all these betting websites is the favorite to win MVP this year.
I got 3 quarterbacks ahead of him.
There is 50 players I have ahead of this guy to win MVP this year. This guy has had a terrible season.
I agree. I'm just naming off the rip. I'm thinking of my 3 guys right now that are favorite to win MVP. My MVP right now is Josh Allen, followed by Lamar, followed by I just fucking had them. Oh, Joe Burrow.
Jared Goff has to be up there for me too.
He does have to be up there. Baker Mayfield has to get some sort of consideration as well.
Yep. To me, Patrick Mahomes is so far down this list to be anywhere near an MVP this year. 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. What kind of a fucking MVP year is that?
It's not.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's not. But damn, good thing they signed Kareem Hunt. 22 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns.
The man is a beast. I picked him up for absolutely free in my fantasy league. I can't believe it.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you. Sunday Night Football. We all questioned the decision by Mike Tomlin. And Mike Tomlin responded, "This is why I'm compensated well." Russell Wilson might have turned back the clock, Zachary. They destroyed the New York Jets 37-15.
Now,
Zachary, we have a lot to break down this game. So let's start with the Steelers side first. Okay. They decided to sit down Justin Fields and got him off to a 4-2 start. Russell Wilson goes there, and Zach, they look way better. And not to mention, they utilize the receivers well, especially George Pickens.
The first 2 drives, though, they looked horrible. The fans were booing, and it was like, I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen? And then, like you just said, Russell Wilson just got comfortable. He got cozy back there in the pocket, started making some plays, and I think that both of us said it was a stupid decision, and now we both kind of look pretty dumb, Robbie, because that team looked so much better with Russell Wilson behind man in the quarterback position than Justin Fields.
Broncos country, let's ride.
As corny as he is, he looked pretty goddamn good, Zachary. Not to mention, too, I mean, George Pickens is definitely happy. That's for goddamn sure. The New York Jets, Zach.
Thank God Steve's not here, dude, because this New York Jets team, they are right there with the New England Patriots and the Cleveland Browns for being just a terrible football team. They're not as bad, but for the amount of hope and expectations and excitement that was following this team going into this season, for this team to look like this week in and week out, with Aaron Rodgers looking like he is 72 years old out there, you got Garrett Wilson, who just looks like he is completely fed up. Devontae Adams, obviously, was his first game, so I wasn't expecting too much. He didn't really do absolutely fucking nothing either.
Yeah.
To me, this is the biggest disappointment so far this year in the NFL for a team.
All right. I would like to play a video here of our good well, he's not our good friend, but I like the shit that he always has to analyze here. I want to bring in Rex Ryan because we know at Rex Ryan how much he loves his fucking New York Jets. Here's Rex Ryan.
And you, Rex, who've been a coach quite literally all of your life, who were raised by one of the legendary coaches of all time, you went directly to the coaches and their responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? He's a winner. He's a winner. They take that responsibility on as players. All right. For me as a coach, why the hell you hire me? All right. Why? Because I'm going to create that culture. That team is more important than the freaking individual. That when the team wins, everybody wins. All right. It ain't about the name on the back. It's about the name on the front of the damn jersey. All right. Be proud to be a damn New York Jet. Right now, I don't see it. I'm proud to be Aaron Rodgers. I'm proud to be this guy. I'm proud to be that guy. How about be proud to be a freaking New York Jet? Where's the passion for it? And I think that starts from the top. All right, as a damn head coach. I know this kid's thrown in there. He's way above his head. I get it. And is it hard as hell to be a D coordinator and a head coach? You're damn right it is. Okay? But, I mean, where is it? I've seen it. I'm worried about units. My units play. I always hear, well, our defense plays great. What? It's our team. And by the way, the defense needs, if you're that damn good, then win the damn game yourself. I don't see it. No. When are we going to come like this? When are we going to be like this instead of using one damn finger? Because I'm seeing a bunch of damn individuals. You hit it right on the head, D. Wood. Freaking unbelievable.
And you.
Wow. I kind of agree with every single word that came out of his mouth.
I mean, they ask Aaron Rodgers at the end of the game, what do the Jets need to do better as a team? And the first thing Aaron Rodgers says is, well, we need to stop listening to people like you guys, like the media. And Damian Woody, it's too long of a video, but that's what Rex was alluding to, was Damian Woody saying it's a bunch of individuals as a team. And Zach, this is what I said about the Jets. I said, I did believe the Jets were going to go to the Super Bowl. I really did. But I did also mention, what if this is like what the dream team was with the Philadelphia Eagles back in like the early 2010s when they had Michael Vick amongst so many others? And that's what it's looking like. It's looking like a bunch of individuals instead of a collective team. And honestly, this Jets team last year with Zach Wilson, the defense was winning games because Robert Saleh was getting the best out of them. The firing of Robert Saleh, it made no sense. It seriously made zero.
Yeah, it was a really stupid trade.
And then when they bring in Jeff Olbrich, and with Jeff Olbrich, they elevate from DC to interim head coach. He did what Robert Saleh was going to do anyways and demoted Nathaniel Hackett from play calls. The Jets are done. The Jets are not making the playoffs. The Jets are not winning the Super Bowl. And God damn it, the Jets should consider telling Aaron Rodgers, get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he has looked horrible this year. You got to feel bad for Steve. I mean, you know,
I feel terrible, Steve. I really do.
Because this team was a team that was coming in with, I'm gonna probably some Super Bowl aspirations.
They bought all in,
and they suck.
It's sad, dude. It's very, very sad.
What else we got here, Robbie? 2 Monday night games.
We do have the 2 Monday night games. Please hold. The Ravens and the Buccaneers. 41-31. You alluded to it earlier with Chris Godwin getting hurt. Mike Evans gets hurt in the middle of the game. Baker Mayfield, 31-45, 370 yards, 3 touchdowns. But Lamar Jackson with 5 passing touchdowns, 17 of 22, 281 yards. 2 of the touchdown passes, I believe, went to Mark Andrews. They did.
Yeah.
What a game.
Yeah. A very good game. And also, just to make matters worse, the Chris Godwin injury comes with less than a minute left in the game. In a game where you have no chance of winning, the man is now done for the year. In a year where the Blue Jackets are pumping the Leafs right now. Holy Christ.
Yeah, I saw.
But in a year where you guys had some, like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense, Robert.
Well, Zach, I mean, they're still downtown with 40 seconds, and if there's a chance you can recover the onside kick, you're still in it. So, I mean, you play to win, dude. You do play to win. But I'll tell you what. I said it, I think, on Sunday. Todd Bowles is supposed to be a defensive-minded coach, and they're giving up fucking 41 points, dude. I mean, it's not the first time neither, dude. I mean, Todd Bowles should not be the fucking head coach. Todd Bowles is a joke of a head coach. They're not winning games because of Todd Bowles. They're winning games because of their offensive coordinator. Todd Bowles sucks. Todd Bowles is a good defensive coordinator, nothing more, nothing less. Terrible head coach.
Do you think now the Buccaneers maybe start bringing up some teams for a wide receiver?
They have to.
Because now Mike Evans is going down. Obviously, he's still going to come back, but Chris Godwin, we know, is done for the season.
Yep. And Chris Godwin was caught mouthing off saying career is over. How sad.
Well, I think that's a heat of the moment thing right there. You know,
of course, I know, but like, it's a hard injury to come back from, man, whatever it is, because I don't think we got the full diagnosis yet.
I think it was a full dislocated ankle, they said.
God.
So that's not going to be an easy one. I mean, with dislocated ankle, you're probably assuming there's some sort of tendon damage and all that shit around. So he's going to have a long recovery.
Yeah, it's too bad. I called this one, Zachary. Cardinals upsetting the Chargers 17-15. Ugly game that I didn't get to see any fucking highlights whatsoever because it started at 9:00, and I didn't really care once I saw the final score.
Yeah, I watched it, actually, to be honest. I stayed up and watched
all
it.
15 points for the Chargers came off of Dicker, the kicker.
Dicker, the kicker. Dicker, I barely know her. Ba-doom.
I hate you, dude. I hate you. Yeah, is there really anything really to elaborate on this game outside of Justin Herbert with 349 passing yards?
To be honest with you, Robert, I watched it, and I don't even have anything to say about it.
All right, well,
it was a snooze fest.
Well, that does it for that, Zachary. Is there anything you'd like to break down with hockey? It is 8:02 right now.
You know what? You don't even have to play the song, Robbie. I'm just going to go through it super quick because there wasn't much. Big news, though, was Paul Maurice sticking around as the Florida Panthers head coach, signing. It just said a multiple-year extension. It didn't give me any years or dollar value behind it, but it said he signs a multiple-year extension to stick around as the coach for the Florida Panthers. And then just a surprising story here, Robbie. The Winnipeg Jets in this offseason spent about $7 million in acquiring free agents, which is absolutely nothing. They did not spend a cent. Yeah. The Nashville Predators, however, Robbie, spent $150.5 million on free agency. Winnipeg Jets have started out this season 5-0 for the first time in their franchise's history, while the Nashville Predators, after spending all of that money, Robert, start out at 0-5. I mean, I obviously know it's super early, but if you're a Nashville Predators fan, Robbie, and you're seeing what's going on right now, the way your team's playing, I would be shitting my pants a little bit this year.
You know who else is shitting their pants right now?
The Leafs?
Knicks fans. They're down 24-43 at the end of the first. Mikal Bridges is shooting like shit.
Robbie, why don't we get out of here? Let these folks go watch some NBA. We watch a little bit of NBA ourselves and enjoy the rest of our Tuesday night.
Sounds good there, buddy old pal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back on Thursday. Thursday, we are going to break down the World Series. We're going to make our predictions for the World Series as of Thursday. We'll see what happens through the NBA through these short couple days. We're going to make our picks for the NFL on Thursday, and we're going to try to do a quick Thursday episode because Zachary has a very, very important thing to do after the show in respects to our good friend.
Get jerked off.
Well, if she's just jerking you off.
Oh, my.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for another fantastic episode of Sports Cave. Hold on.
She's going to jerk Zach off.
Well, do I ever regret saying that, folks? This has been another fun episode on a Tuesday night special of the Sports Cave, guys. We will see you sexy sluts on Thursday. And with that, there's only one thing left to say. Stay sexy, Sports Cave.